Okay, welcome to my channel. It's MMA Mandy. Fight week. It's International Fight Week. International Fight Week.
Yeah, that's
We
right.
had to film. Azim's got it rough this week. Okay, I got it rough this week, but we still made it. We still made it here. We're here.
I didn't know.
This is our third time filming this because I forgot to record the first two times. If I mention leagues that these fighters have been in, it's because they're reputable leagues.
Yeah,
Yeah, not
like
like,
the LFA Fury.
yeah, Cage Warriors, King of the Cage, whatever. It's not just because I want to like say this, right? It's because they're, if I'm just gonna say this, it's not like, oh yeah, he fought an LFA before. Yeah, that is like a very a very smart way to get into the UFC, right?
Yeah,
Go fight an LFA, you go against.
it's a more established way of getting into
Yeah,
the sport.
exactly. That's why I say that. And then I say like the last three fights because I think it's indicative of the way that their life's going, the way that they've been fighting, everything. It makes sense. Trust me, because I cannot do this. I cannot film it one more time. Okay. Start.
Right, let's go.
God, I wish you were okay, whatever.
We would have been on the main card by now.
I'm so sorry. Okay.
Alright, let's go.
First bout, which I will say again. Oh wait, I am wearing my Tito Ortiz shirt, which I fall asleep to every night. Court McGee, Brad Tavares. If you don't know, you don't know. Anyways, you've heard me say this like 10 times, so I'm just not going to say it again, but it's okay. Go watch The Ultimate Fighter of that season. It's the best season. It's the best season. Okay, anyways, middleweight bout between Christopher. Can you just tell me if I should say Ewert? How do you pronounce that?
Let me have a look. It is Ewa, right?
Ewert, okay. Versus Jackson McVeigh. Christopher Ewert is undefeated with 7 wins, 5 by knockout, no submissions. He's fought in Fury. Like I said, I just name reputable stuff because I think it's those count. Those count. Does count. Um, Jackson McVeigh is undefeated as well. He has 6 professional wins, 3 by knockout, 3 by submission. He is a southpaw stance. However, we don't really know what Ewert's stance is. It doesn't tell me in ESPN, so I don't know if he has that advantage or not. Um, um, McVeigh has fought an LFA, and my pick is McVeigh because he's never had a fight go to decision. He has more submissions, so he probably has a better ground game.
Yeah, 6-0, 3 knockouts, 3 submissions. It's more well-rounded, isn't he? So he's got to favor that.
We got this on the first one. Okay, right. Okay, we're going with Christopher. Okay, next bout, welterweight bout between Nico Price and Jacoby Smith. Nico Price has 16 professional wins, 8 professional losses. 10 of his professional wins have come by knockout, 3 have come by submission. He debuted in the UFC in 2016, so he has almost 10 years in the UFC in experience. He lost by knockout to Robbie Lawler, which was, sorry, every time I'm gonna get, I know we filmed this 3 times, but I'm gonna get emotional every time. This is Robbie Lawler's retirement fight. This is why I got this piece of the octagon. It's so bloody. And I think it's just like a tribute to who Robbie Lawler is. He got knocked out by Robbie Lawler in 2023. Right there. You know Robbie Lawler. I love Robbie Lawler. um, he had a unanimous decision win against Alex Morono in 2024, and he had a unanimous decision loss against Themba Gorimbo in 2024 as well. He's fought great names such as Vicente Luque, Randy Brown, Michelle Pereira, Robbie Lawler, etc. Everyone. Um, I was live for that fight against Alex Morono at UFC 302 last year. I was ringside for Dustin Poirier. But Jacoby Smith is undefeated with 10 wins, 10 of those wins coming by knockout, no submissions. He has a southpaw stance, but again, or no. he does have a slight southpaw advantage. He actually does. He does have a slight southpaw advantage. He debuted in the UFC with a knockout against Preston Parsons after day or sorry, he debuted in the UFC with a knockout win against Preston Parsons earlier this year after competing in Dana White's Contender Series last year. He formerly competed in Fury, and he is a crazy -2,000 betting favorite. And just like I said, the first 20 times we filmed this, I went back and forth against this one. I know he is like a crazy betting favorite, but I don't know. I went back and forth between this one and like right up until filming. I will go with the betting favorite, Jacoby Smith. Not like because of the bets, but some, I marinated on it for a few nights and I do think that he will win. So
Yeah, 10 out of 10 knockouts. Nico Price, so much because he has been around the block for everyone. That damage is accumulated. He's not getting any younger. He's got like 400 kids. I don't know what that's got to do with it, but he has.
wait,
Like,
does he really? Wait, who, Nico Price?
yeah, he has like double-digit kids. If I'm not sure, if
No
I'm
way.
like, yeah, he actually does.
You're being serious?
No, I'm being deadly serious. He has like double-digit kids. I'm like 99% sure he does. I don't know if it's from the same woman. I don't know about that, but he does have like double-digit
Probably
kids.
not. Okay, well, anyways, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter.
But yeah. So I don't know. I'm just pretty up there now.
It's fine. Wait, did we agree on the first pick? You went with
We agree on both these ones, yeah, both of
okay,
them.
okay, okay. We're good. Which we do have a tally going. I'll get it like up on here at some point. I do have like a
I think it's a draw right now.
well, no, you're winning because we've had two
Oh,
podcasts. He
yeah,
won the
yeah.
first one. We had a draw on the second one, so he is
Okay.
still, yeah,
So you've got to win this one.
hopefully. Okay. Next bout is a bantamweight bout between Peyton Talbot and Felipe Lima. Peyton Talbot has 9 wins, 9 professional wins, 1 loss. 7 of his professional wins coming by knockout, one by submission. He debuted in the UFC after competing on Dana White's Contender Series in 2023. He also debuted in 2023. He knocked out Cameron Simon in 2024, which was like a huge thing because Cameron Simon was like a big thing. Um, he knocked out Yanis Gimori in 2024 as well. And he had a unanimous decision loss against Ronnie Barcelos earlier this year. And he has a switch stance, which typically I like. But Felipe Lima has 14 professional wins, 1 professional loss. 4 of those professional wins coming by knockout, 3 of them coming by submission. He debuted in the UFC last year. He submitted Muhammad Naimov last year in his UFC debut. He had a unanimous decision win against Miles Johns in the same year last year. Um, and he's not realized a loss since his first professional loss 10 years ago in 2015. And I think this kind of like thing is so interesting because I've seen it with a few fighters, and you know one of the fighters that I've seen it with? I know you're gonna know.
JDM.
You read my mind, okay? You read
Yes.
my mind when you said that because there's people that they just lose in the beginning and then just never lose again, and it's crazy. Like it's actually,
Yeah.
I was thinking of Jack Deller too, but yeah. Um, my pick is Felipe Lima. I think
I agree.
Talbot had so much hype behind his name. Like the betting odds for his last fight were like crazy for him, like crazy for
Yeah,
him.
they're ridiculous.
And he got set up with a vet of the UFC and he did not look good at all. And after round one, you could see like the defeat in his eyes, in my opinion. Like I'm not saying what it was, of course. Like I'll never be disrespectful. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But I feel like you could see like the defeat in his eyes, like after round one, like someone can hold me down like that. Ronnie Barcelos did that. I think Felipe Lima could definitely do that. Um, Lima has also never been knocked out. And I also think that the change in mentality, okay, this could like serve like a good thing towards Peyton Talbot or a bad thing, right? Like we could see him work on his ground game better, like we could see but also like he's been known to knock people out. So being cautious is not the best thing for knocking people out.
Yeah.
Are
But I
you
agree with you. I agree. I
serious?
agree. I agree with you.
I think it's gonna work against him because
Yeah.
when you're knocking people out, like you shouldn't be cautious, but you know, of course, whatever. I don't know. It
I
could.
also think Felipe Lima is just really good. Like, I don't think this is a case of Peyton Talbot's bad. Like, I think this is a case of Felipe Lima is a
I
really
don't
good
think so
prospect.
either. Yeah, I think
Like,
this could.
I think Lima's just that step ahead. I think Lima is. I mean, that Mohamed Naima performance. I mean, he's just so. He's very technical, very aggressive, very fun. I think he's a really good prospect. So I think we're both agreeing in the first three fights.
Hmm, perfect.
Interesting.
Interesting. Next bout, okay, is a heavyweight bout between Jonata Diaz versus Alvin Hines. Jonata Diaz has 8 professional wins with 1 loss, 7 of those wins coming by knockout. He doesn't have any wins by submission. He knocked out Austin Lane in his UFC debut last year after competing on Dana White's Contender Series in 2023. He has a unanimous decision win against Carl Williams in 2024. And again in 2024, he got knocked out by doctor stoppage against Marcin Tybura, which is a very difficult opponent. Alvin Hines is undefeated with 7 wins, 3 by knockout, uh, 3 by submission. Majority of his fights have been in LFA. Again, I'm saying that because it means something. You know,
Yeah,
LFA is a difficult thing to compete in.
yeah,
Uh, and this will be his UFC debut. My pick is Alvin Hines. I have seen Denise fight live at Apex. My first time in Apex. My first fight in Apex. Don't say. This was a difficult fight to pick though. Both began their professional careers in like 2022, 2023. Hines has never fought in the UFC. Obviously, I just said that. And Hines seemingly does have a better ground game, right? And he does
yeah,
have
yeah.
that debut fighter edge. He does have that debut fighter edge. Well, I will never underestimate. That's what got me winning. What's his name? What's his name? The fighter that we like. That fought against that Australian fighter. He does have that when they enter the UFC, they want to prove themselves.
Or Sunny killed or something.
So yeah. Quillen Saul killed.
Yeah.
Exactly. He was like the biggest underdog. You even look at the fights, he has that. He has that. That's why I'm picking him. But who's your pick?
I'll go Jonathan Deniz. I think Deniz wins it.
Okay. That's
Just
fair.
because the heavyweight, I don't value heavyweight. With heavyweight, I value just more experience at the top because heavyweight is less skilled. Usually, when they've had more fights within the UFC and you're making your debut,
Wait, is that the Apex
confidence.
event that we were at together or no? We weren't together, but like,
I
okay,
can't
this is
remember.
a crazy story. This is gonna be interesting for everyone else because we met so randomly. Like this, there's no reason that like me and him should have this podcast together. Like there's no reason except like one random message.
Yeah, there's no
Like
reason.
all the like a year later, we found out that we were at the same Apex fight. We were at the same Apex fight. I don't think it was that one, but that's
You'll have to make sure after it, but yeah,
yeah, it was crazy.
ridiculous, isn't it? Yeah.
Anyways, next bout. Lightweight bout between Terrence McKinney and Slaviclas. Terrence McKinney has 16 professional wins with 7 losses. 8 of those professional wins coming by knockout, 8 coming by submission. He competed in Dana White's Contender Series in 2019, but did not secure a contract and fought elsewhere until his UFC debut in 2021. Uh,
Okay.
no, it's okay. I don't know what I wrote here.
What kind of
Oh,
video on?
okay. He knocked out Brandon Morode in 2023. He got knocked out by Esteban Ribovics, who I'm a big fan of, in 2024. And then earlier this year, knocked out Damir Hazovic. He is also a switch stance, which everybody knows if they've been watching my podcast. I'm out here to prove a point, okay? I love my switch stances. And out of 23 professional wins, None. None of those 23 professional wins have gone to decision.
That is ridiculous.
23 professional wins have gone to decision. So crazy. But Slavoclav, Vyacheslav Borshev, has 8 professional wins, 5 professional losses. 6 of those professional wins have come by knockout, none have come by submission. He had a 2022 debut after competing on Dana White's Contender Series in 2021. Chase Hooper submitted him in 2024. He also oh sorry, he won by split decision against James Ian Top in 2024 as well. And then he had a unanimous decision loss against Tom Nolan in 2025. My pick, for no good reason, just because I like him, is Slava Claus. His recent resume looks good. I love Slava Claus. Yeah, I literally wrote down on my note card. My emotions are playing a big play into this one because I do love Slava Claus. I do love him. I do love him. He is one of the people that made me fall in the sport. His ground game seems better than McKinney's. Or no, sorry. McKinney does have a seemingly better ground game than Slava Claus, but it feels like Slava Claus has better ground defense because of his resume and everything. I watched some of his past fights. They said that, so he does have good ground defense, which I feel like he'll be able to use against McKinney, and he'll be able to take it. So let's go, Slava Claus.
I've got Terence McKinney, and I don't even think Terence McKinney's that good, but I remember Slavoclaws, he fought Chase Hooper and he got dropped by Chase Hooper, and I just can't get that out of my mind.
She's good.
Chase Hooper's very good, but like dropped by him is crazy. And I think Slavoclaws, I don't know, I think he's too open on the feet early, and Terence McKinney does his best work early. He's got 23 wins and all finishes.
You're right.
Um, and he is a better grappler. I got Terence McKinney. I'll go the other way.
Okay. Next bout. Next bout is a featherweight bout between Haider Ramil versus Jose Miguel Delgado. Haider Ramil is undefeated with 11 professional wins, 6 by knockout, 1 by submission. He previously competed in Bellator and LFA. He competed on Dana White's Contender Series in 2023 with a 2024 UFC debut where he knocked out Fernie Garcia, and then he went on to knock out Jong Jong Lee in 2024,
Johnny
and he had a split decision win against William Gomez earlier this year. Jose Miguel Delgado has 9 professional wins with 1 loss, 5 by knockout, 4 by obviously wins have come by submission. He competed in Dana White's Contender Series in 2024. He had a UFC debut of earlier this year, so 2025. He debuted in the UFC earlier this year against Connor Matthews, and he knocked Connor Matthews out, which I think is very impressive. I can't go with anyone, dude. He fights out of MMA Lab. I know who he is. Like, I don't know who he is, but I mean, I know who he is. Everyone that comes out of MMA Lab is a monster. He fights out of MMA Lab. That's what I wrote. Both of these fighters are switch stances. I love my switch stances. Jose Miguel Delgado does seem a little bit more well-rounded against Haider Amel, who only has 1 submission. He has 4, right?
Yeah.
Almost the same knockouts. What do you think?
I'm unfortunately for the third time in a row gonna go the other way. I'll go Hyder Mill. Hyder Mill, even though I think he is less well-rounded, I think he does some things in the octagon very well. Um, yeah, and I like some of his decision wins too because he showed some things over 15. Um, he could get out grappled. I think he's less rounded, but and like you said, you know him, so he could turn up and just absolutely destroy Hyder Mill. But I'm gonna go with Hyder Mill, probably a close decision.
You can do that. You already know how superior the MMA lab is to anything else. That's why I speak about it so highly, but sure.
We'll see, I guess. Could happen. It's a close fight. It is a close fight.
Next bout is a middleweight bout between Jack Hermanson and Gregory Rodriguez. Jack Hermanson has 24 professional wins, 8 professional losses. 11 of those professional wins have come by knockout, 6 by submission. He debuted in the UFC in 2016. As of recent, he had a unanimous decision win against Chris Curtis in 2022. He was knocked out by Roman Dolidze in 2022 as well. And then he had which I loved this. Okay, I don't even know them. I don't even know them like that. You know I don't know them like that. But I loved his unanimous decision win against Joe Pyfer last year. Beautiful. He's fought great names in the division like Sean Strickland, Marvin Vettori, Jerry Cannonier, etc. Of course, Gregory Rodriguez has 16 professional wins, 6 losses, 10 of those professional wins coming by knockout, 3 coming by submission. He competed in Dana White's Contender Series in 2020, but lost and did not secure the contract. He briefly fought in LFA again before debuting in the UFC in 2021. He, as of recent, had knocked out Brad Tavares, who I love. Like I'm wearing the Tudor t-shirt that he this is that season, by the way. In 2024, he had a unanimous decision win against Christian Leroy Duncan, also in 2024. And earlier this year, he was knocked out by Jared Cannonier, who does train out of Arizona. And I'm just gonna tell you right now, my pick is RoboCop with no good reason. Gregory Rodriguez for no good reason.
I was thinking RoboCop too. I just think he got chinned by Cannonier, but that was when he was tired in the championship rounds, like the fourth
No,
and fifth.
Cannonier is good though. Don't shoot him.
And Cannonier's got something. Cannonier is good. He does all right in 3 rounders. I think he's going to put pace on Jack Manson. And if it was a 5 round fight, I would have picked Jack. But 3 rounds, I'm gonna go RoboCop.
See, I told you I was right on this card movie and have a lot of similar picks. Okay, ready? Cool. Next bout is a lightweight bout between Beneil Dariush versus Renato Moicano. Beneil Dariush has 22 professional wins, 6 losses. 5 of those professional wins coming by knockout, 8 coming by submission. His fight style is striker. He does hold a slight southpaw advantage. He debuted in the UFC in 2014. Wow. Sorry.
That is,
Right. As of recent, he had a unanimous decision win against Mateusz Gamrot, Polish Power, in 2022. He was knocked out by Charles Oliveira in 2023 and also knocked out by Arman Saruki in 2023. His current rank in the lightweight division is number 9. Renato
yes,
Moicano has 20 professional wins, 6 losses. 2 of those professional wins coming by knockout, 10 by submission. His fight style is jiu-jitsu. He debuted in the UFC in 2014, which I had no idea. As of recent, he knocked out Jalen Turner in 2024 last year. Also last year, he knocked out by doctor stoppage, which I actually remember this fight. Against Benoit Saint-Denis. It was brutal. And well, I guess I'll talk to this a little bit more later on. And then he also lost via submission to Islam Makhachev earlier this year on a very short notice fight. I believe it was day of notice fight for the lightweight belt. He is currently ranked number 10 in the division. My pick is Renato Moicano. They both have over 10 years of experience in the UFC. They've both fought greats. Moicano is more active. This is what I wanted to talk about. His fight with Benoit Saint-Denis was so dominant and impressive. And then he came out with that he had like his whole back like fractured after the fact. He didn't use it as an excuse. So it was just like an added like, wow, you really fought through adversity to get that one. Like that was so
mm,
respectable and impressive from like in my opinion.
yeah, no, it was. I agree with this one.
I
I've got to go
remember
on
watching
McConnell.
it. I remember exactly where I was. I remember watching this and finding out afterwards, and it was crazy. I love him. I think he's gonna be counted out because of Islam Makhachev and that 2 second thing of the day of notice fight, whatever. But I am going him.
I'm going him on to McConnell too. I just think Beneil's. I think I don't put too much stock into that Islam performance. It's Islam Makhachev. What are you gonna do? I've taken into account everything else, and he's looked really good. Benil just just isn't on the correct form. Just took a few KO losses. I don't think he gets KO'd here because I don't think Moicano's arming not Oliveira. But I do think Moicano will have more success on the feet, and I think he is a better grappler. So I'm gonna go Moicano.
Okay, let's just here acknowledge real quick that I was right in that I think we have similar picks.
Yeah, fair enough.
Next bout is a flyweight bout between Brandon Royval and our man Joshua Van. Brandon Royval has 17 professional wins with 7 losses. Four of those professional wins coming by knockout, 9 of them coming by submission. He has a slight southpaw advantage. Um, he did debut in the UFC in 2020. He had as of recent, unanimous decision loss against Alexandre Pantoja in 2023 for the belt, for the title. He had a split decision win against Brandon Moreno last year and a split decision win against Tatsuro Taira also last year. He's currently ranked #1 in the division, which I think is pretty pathetic, okay? I don't say that about many things, but go watch his fight against Casey Kenny in LFA. Pathetic. I don't,
Okay, but that was about like how many years ago?
sure, whatever. Anyways, Joshua Van, my pick, has 14 professional wins, 2 professional losses, 7 of those professional wins coming by knockout, 2 coming by submission. He had a 2023 UFC debut, and I was saying this when we filmed just 3 weeks ago. This will be his ninth fight in the UFC since since his debut in 2023. He just fought 3 weeks ago. He's extremely active. He recently had a unanimous decision win against Cody Durden last year, a unanimous decision win against Tate Tassera into this year, earlier this year, and a knockout against Bruno Silva earlier this month. He is ranked #11 in this division currently. He is hungry to stay active and climb rankings. I've seen him live twice. I've seen him against Edgar Chairez at the Sphere and against Cody Durden at UFC 310 in December at my last UFC fight. This man, let me tell you,
Are you going Joshua Van?
obviously,
I might go Brandon
Mr. Raw
Royval.
Dog. Yeah, I hope you do, dude, because go watch that Casey Kenny fight against him. You're gonna regret that real
I
quick.
don't hold that against him at all. I'll look at his Brandon Moreno
You should,
performance.
because he got literally. That was embarrassing. That was an
But
embarrassing.
I mean, I'm not gonna hold it against him in the
You
sense of
should.
that's
You
not him
should.
now.
I'm saying you should.
He did well against Moreno. He did well against Pantoja,
No, he
which
didn't.
was last
Okay,
year, I
split
believe.
decision win.
But I mean, yeah, but these are opponents that Joshua Van's never even been
Go
in.
ahead,
Like,
you go ahead. I don't care.
I'm gonna
I
go.
view him, actually,
I
I
hope
wanted
I'm
to say
wrong.
this. I wanted to make a point out of this, right? I view him kind of like a Merab Dvalishvili. Because when you look at him, I've sent you these things, right? Like on TikTok, on message, on whatever. He does like these weird random things outside of USC where it's like, where did this singing come from? He just loves life. He just wants to climb the rankings. He's like Marab, who's so superior. He's going to win. He wants it. He's active, just like Marab was. You can't deny him that, which I'm not trying to convince you of anything because I know I'm going to win in this one. I know I'm going to win this one. I hope
I
you.
hope I'm wrong. This is one I hope I'm wrong on, but I have to go Royval. I just
Perfect.
think, yeah,
Cool.
I have to
I
go
win
Royval.
that one. Next bout is the co-main event. Alexandre Pantoja versus Kai Kara France. Alexandre Pantoja, the bloodiest piece of octagon iron right there, right there, right there. Again, sorry. I have to point it out every time just 'cause I love him so much. Is the current champion with 29 professional wins, 5 professional losses, 8 of those professional wins coming by knockout, 11 by submission. His fight style is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He debuted in the UFC in 2017. Recently, he defended the flyweight belt 3 times. The first with a unanimous decision win against Brandon Royval, Raw Dog Royval, in 2023. Another with a unanimous decision win against Steve Ursag last year. And the last with he submitted Kai Asakura in 2024. Let me talk on. Kai Kara France has 25 professional wins, 11 professional losses, 12 of those professional wins coming by knockout, 3 by submission. His fight style is striker. He has a 2018 UFC debut. He was knocked out by Brandon Moreno in 2022 in a title fight. He had a split decision loss against Amir Albazi in 2023 and knocked out Steve Ursag last year. His current rank is number 4 in the flyweight division. My pick is Alexandre Pantoja. I love Alexandre Pantoja, okay? I own so many of those 310 shirts, like the same ones. These same ones. I was just scared that I would wash one out too much, that like it wouldn't look right. I love him so much. Pantoja has never been finished. Never once in his professional career has Pantoja been finished. He has been so dominant in the flyweight division. If people don't know about UFC, the flyweight division was gotten rid of for a long time.
Yeah.
He's the one that brings life back into it. He's not trying to get a double, whatever. He owns that division. They had to bring in somebody that has never fought in the UFC to fight him just because he's been so dominant. They had no one else to put against him. He's been that dominant and has been a blood war ever since. Like he is a great champion. He is a wonderful champion. Um, he's entertaining. Yeah, I was live for that fight. I was wearing that shirt earlier today when I was doing my makeup for this podcast. Um, love Pantoja. Oh, I loved it. I will say this. Sorry, I'm going on like the biggest rant.
I'm just letting you know, yeah.
I loved going to UFC 310. I loved it when the main event fell through, and for the first time, he was not co-main. He was the main event. And let me tell you something. It was a wonderful main event. It was a wonderful main event. It was not boring like a lot of main events are. It was not anything. It was a wonderful main event. I am so glad I was so glad he went from co-main to main. He got his main event finally, which leads me to my next point. I hate whoever the hell is behind the pound for pound rankings. Don't like them whatsoever.
Oh, don't get me started
They're
on
not
that.
on my yeah, they're not on our team. Okay, but we're not gonna talk about that. That's for a different day. His ground game is so beautiful. His scrambles made me fall in love with the UFC. I have so much passion for Alexandre Pantoja. So much, like so much. Look, you know how much I love Robbie Lawler, right?
Mm.
The day that he decided to retire, that one, the bloodiest piece of Octagon I own, and I do own a piece of the Octagon of Robbie Lawler versus Rory McDonald too. The bloodiest piece of Octagon that I own is Alexandre Pantoja versus Brandon Moreno. He's a wonderful tribute of what this sport is. I love him. I love him. He's entertaining. He's beautiful, dude. Give him. Why is it? Why was it? No, no. He deserves his own main event. I'll tell you that much. I'll always, well, not always, but again, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu over striker. And the last thing I have to say about this is bring Muhammad Mokaev back. I'm about to go change into my Muhammad Mokaev shirt. He wanted to fight Muhammad Mokaev. Muhammad Mokaev wanted to fight him. Muhammad Mokaev was one of my, well, actually, I think he was my favorite person in the sport when I first started watching it. Bring him back. And that is the last thing I'll say, and I'll let you talk now.
Well, I ain't got much to say to you. I just gotta say, I am going Pantoja. He also is one of my favorite fighters. It's an absolute disgrace that
Sorry, I
he's.
totally went off like the rails though, but
It's an absolute disgrace. He should minimum be in the top five pound for pound. So the fact that he's like 9 or 10 is ridiculous. Um,
and time
and
and time again, like people have like voiced their opinions on this, and he continues to be under like I'm sorry, I like Jack Della, but I'm pretty sure he's under the rankings, and I'm like, who has Jack Della defended his like belt against? Like it's just
but
it's
even like Tommaso now, when he became heavyweight champ 2 days
just
ago, he's now above Pantoja. Like it just doesn't really make.
disrespect. It's just straight disrespect. And you know what? Pantoja could go up to 135, and you probably would dominate. And you know what? He doesn't. And you know what? I like that because he keeps the 125-pound division interesting, and he keeps it in the UFC because they've gotten rid of it before and they could do it again. I sound like Chael Sonnen right now. I don't like it, but I do because he's cool.
And another thing to mention is he would be the second fighter ever in the bottom four divisions to win a belt at the age of 30 or win a title fight at the age of 35. Only Volker's done that. So if he does this, he's in a way basically the first ever since Volk. Like, it's only him and Volk ever to win a championship fight at 35 plus. And he's done it at flyweight, not featherweight, which is even more impressive because flyweight's a division based on speed. So if he does this,
Bramble.
it'll be honestly be historic, honestly. And I think he does. I think he gets through it.
Let me tell a funny story just because it might entertain people, but I think I've told you this before.
Go
There's been two different times where I've been like very violent during live fights, okay? Because I'm like ringside and there's people behind me like screaming, like stand them up. And there was this one time, it was during the 310 fight. I straight up turned around during the UFC 310 fight when they were like, stand them up, right? Because I was right next to that ring. I was right next to it, dude. I was with all the fighters. I was next to Chad Mendez. I was next to Charles Johnson, Brad Tavares. Oh my Lord, Brady Hindsight. Like I was next to all of them, right? I didn't care anymore, dude. Like there's something in me that broke. I turned around and I was like, if you want to, like, if you're gonna keep saying that, leave and go watch boxing. This is MMA. They're doing things. It's not like they're like like no, this is scrambles. Like this is not your stuff. Then go watch boxing. And I didn't hear from them from the rest of the night. For the rest of the night, I didn't hear a peep. Okay, ready? Last
on.
thought. Ready?
Yeah.
Lightweight bout between your man's Ilia Topuria, who's disrespectful as and Charles Oliveira. Ilia Topuria is a former featherweight champion. He vacated the belt to compete for the lightweight belt. He's undefeated with 16 professional wins, six of those professional wins coming by knockout, eight by submission. He did have a 2020 UFC debut. As of recent, he had a unanimous decision win against Josh Emmett in 2023. Became featherweight champion by knocking out Alexander Volkanovski last year and successfully defended his title again by knocking out Max Holloway last year. He's now fighting in a different division, so everyone takes that into play. Different weight class, upper weight class. Charles Oliveira is a former lightweight champion. His current rank in this division is number 2. He has 13, or sorry, 35. I don't know why I said 13. 35 professional wins, 10 losses, 10 of those wins coming by knockout, 21 by submission. He had a 2010 UFC debut. Recently, he knocked out Beneil Dariush in 2023. He lost via split decision to Arman Saruki in 2024, and also in 2024, he had a unanimous decision win against Muscle Milk Mike. Both of their fight styles are Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I'm not gonna because I don't know. Anyways.
That's not. All right, there we go. Move my camera a bit here.
Okay.
All right, okay. Like I said, I was looking at the chat and it just completely broke. Um,
We
do
already
you
know
know
what
how
we
you
are going
just
with, so it don't really fucking matter. Do it.
right? No, do you know how you just ranted about Pantoja? I
Ilya
love this.
is
I'm gonna go off him.
disrespectful. Dude,
I love
okay,
this.
I know that this clip got deleted because we filmed this for like 10 times and I forgot to record. But I will say this, okay? Habib is the most humble person ever. How are you gonna tell me if I was sitting here with a platform of 10 followers? Oh, okay, this is a good example of us, right? You have like 10K followers on TikTok. I'm sitting here
Yeah.
with like 100. And I'm like, no one even knows who Azim is. Dude, how are you gonna say that? How are you gonna say that? How are you gonna say that when he has way more followers than I do? Like, no one even knows who Azim is. Like, who even cares about him? Dude, you sound pathetic. You have two nicknames that you switch back and forth between. You don't really have any notable wins in the UFC outside of Max Holloway. I'll give you that one. You don't really have anything, do you? No. And you like him so much, that disrespectful fuck you do.
You
Yeah.
know what it is?
You know what it is. I don't care
I,
what it is.
I, I, I just value his skill so much. I think he's so good.
Oh, so good.
I know he's actual like watching him is genuinely like watching poetry.
Oh, dude,
Like I know this is gonna annoy you so much, dude. He is
no,
just so good.
it's gonna piss me off is what it's gonna do, okay? Look, pick
He's
him.
so
I also pick him. I'm not gonna lie to you. Maybe I do.
that's the funny
Okay.
thing. Um,
I have a tendency to let my feelings get in the way of my picks. Okay? I don't like him. I think he's the most disrespectful person. I don't think anyone has been like, let me gain this belt. And oh yeah, there's no one else for me here to fight. Bro, you defended it one time. One time. You defended it one time. One time. What do you mean? There's everyone in the division for you. Like, this is pathetic. And, okay, cool. Go vacate it. At least you vacated it, which I know the sport made you do. I know they made you do that. And go do what you want to do. That's fine. That's completely fine, dude. But don't be disrespectful to Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov. You're not going to be disrespectful to my number one coach, okay? He's made the best in the division, and you're not going to disrespect him ever. I'll tell you that much right now. Yeah, you got that little smirk on your face. So does everybody else. So does everybody else, dude. You know what? But I got real opinions, so
if Ilya wins, they should make you versus him
sure.
for like UFC 320 or something.
I'm not saying that. It's just he's a very disrespectful person.
No, do it is. You are right in a way. Like a lot of people
But
don't like his personality. They think he's very cocky,
yeah, he
very
cares about Islam who has millions
yeah.
with an S at the end. More followers than you, millions of more followers than you do. Millions of more people care about him
Mm.
than they do you. Be a little bit more humble. Be a Habib. Be a Jack Della Maddalena. Be a something in this sport that is like something. You know what's a legend, dude? Go look at what Israel Adesanya said about who's a legend. It's not about their like legacy. It's about who they are, how they take defeats, how they take wins, how they fight, everything. He's a El Pussy. That's his new nickname for me, at least.
I mean, you can say that, but someone said this:
I will.
if he knocks out Charles Oliveira, he would have knocked out Alexander Volkanovski, Max Holloway at 145, which is more impressive than 155, and then would have came up for lightweight and would have knocked out
Go
Oliveira.
look at his resume because I know you.
Those three wins, oh, I agree. Those three wins, that would be probably a top three greatest back-to-back three wins in UFC history. That
When
would
they're
be
old as
incredible.
fuck and he's young. Oh, he's
Holloway, no. The Holloway win. Holloway is his age, just a few
no,
years
he's
older.
not.
Holloway is not old. Holloway is not Volk. Holloway is what, 30? I don't know how old Volk was at the time.
He's
He would have
older.
been about, he's like 32.
He's older.
He's older than Topuria, obviously, but he's still not. He was like in his
I'm
30s.
looking it up right now.
And even if he was, we can say age. Holloway was coming off arguably his career best win. So that's not even an excuse. It's as if Holloway was coming off a KO loss like Volk was.
33. 33 years old. Compared to Ilya Topuria,
Yeah, 30 coming off the best career. That
28.
wasn't, so he's not a washed Holloway.
Mm,
Topuria's 20,
we could say that, whatever.
28,
You can
29,
play
something like
your
that.
cards all day. I could play my cards all day. We're gonna
No,
decide.
but what I'm saying is, you can hate his personality. That's not my problem. But at the end of the day, one thing that doesn't lie is skill. And he is too good. Listen, I think Oliveira has a better chance than people think. I think he could grapple. If I'm looking for ways to win, Topuria does overextend. Oliveira could grab his back. He could work the clinch. I just think he's going to get bombed. Um, and I think he is generational. I think there's very few athletes in the sport that are generational. But you look at them and you can tell this guy's dude. The speed difference that Topuria is not going to be the hardest puncher at lightweight or the best grappler, but the speed difference between him and everyone at lightweight is going to be ridiculous. And that Max Holloway, if it was to come off the Volk performance, maybe I would choose Oliver Abdullah. But that Holloway performance was so good.
We'll see.
Like you said yourself, you're picking Topuria yourself. I think Islam would be the only guy at 155 that I would actually pick to beat Topuria. Other than that, I don't think anyone's going to beat him. I think he's that good. I think he's a generation athlete. And it'll be one of the, it'd be one of the greatest runs in sports history if he's able to
Bro,
pull this
look
off.
at his resume. People are like glorifying him for no, whatever.
He KO'd Holloway and Volk. Like that is you can't dispute that. Like he did. What? But you
The
can't do
drunk
that.
Volk that come off that win off of two defeats off of Islam. The drunk Volk. Wow. Impressive win there, buddy.
But that was 140.
Buddy?
Yeah, okay, but
Impressive
Holloway
win
win you can't say
there.
anything about.
No, it's
The
not.
Holloway win cannot be said anything about. And that Volk performance, the way he KO'd Volk, that happens to Prime Volk. Because that wasn't a case of, oh, Volk was old and washed anything. That shot was something that
It
Volk,
was drunk, lost Volk. Not
I
saying
don't know
he
where Joe come from. With this shot, that just
he
put
did
us on that.
drink. He admitted to that. He said I drank.
When does that shot, I'm talking about a skill level now. When Topuria KO'd Volk, Volk does that same problem in his career, where he leans back against the cage, his hands lower, and that same shot, Topuria came over the top. That is something they would have studied on. So that wasn't even something that was like, oh, Volk was washed. Because that was a skill difference that made Topuria KO Volk. So you can say it wasn't a peak Volk or informed Volk. That's fine. I'm not going to dispute that. But the shot that KO'd Volk, Prime Volk would get hit with, and that shot would KO anyone. And the Holloway performance, Holloway was coming off his best ever performance. Everyone agrees with that against Justin Gaethje, and then gets slept by Elite Topuria.
Whatever, not everyone,
At
but
155, by the way. And the best boxer in the UFC gets exposed by the best boxer in the UFC. I
Justin
think
versus
Holloway and Volk
you.
at 145.
You're not making sense right now. Okay, we best end it here.
Honestly,
Let's go see who
listen, you
wins.
hate
Let's go see who
Topuria,
wins
but at
everyone's
the end of the day, it is
opinion.
greatness.
Tell them bye. We can talk about it later.